My dear 10th class students, I am AVVN Suresh Babu, Social Studies teacher. I welcome you all to this new academic year. May you get all the success. Let us find out the topics in 10th class Social Studies. Before doing that, I ask you one question. Is it possible to get good marks in Social Studies? Yes, it is possible to get good marks. But how? Simple. Aim to achieve attitude, proper planning, continuous effort until the end will give you the best result and make you the best one. కన్నుల్లో లక్ష్యాన్ని, గుండెల్లో ధైర్యాన్ని నింపుకుని సాగిపోవాలి. కష్టాల సంద్రాలు ఎదురైనా, కన్నీటి చీకటులు ఎదురైనా వెనుదీయకనే సాగాలి. రేపంటూ ఒకటుంటే మన సొంతమే కావాలి అంటూ మునుముందుకు సాగాలి. రేపటి చరిత్రలో విజేతగా మిగలాలి. మీరందరూ విజేతలుగా మిగలాలని మనస్ఫూర్తిగా ఆ భగవంతుని కోరుకుంటూ ఓకే నౌ లెట్ us move on to our topic. Here the contents in 10th class social studies textbook. It is divided into part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is the syllabus meant for paper 1. Part 2 for paper 2. Part 1, Resources Development Equity. In this part, 12 chapters are given. First chapter, India Relief Features. In this chapter, you are going to learn location of India, geological background, and the most important topic, 6 major relief divisions of India. Those are the Himalayas, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Peninsula Plateau, the Thar Desert, the coastal plains, the islands. These are the topics in chapter 1. Now it's the time for second chapter. In the second chapter, titled Ideas of Development. In this chapter, the topics are developmental goals of different categories of persons, how to compare different countries or states, and next per capita income, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance rate. All these important are discussed. And also human development report and the place of India in the Human Development Index you can learn. And finally, the most inspirational one, the schooling revolution in Himachal Pradesh. And the third chapter, titled Production and Employment. In this chapter, 3 sectors of economy. It means primary sector, it is also called as agricultural sector, and next secondary sector, it is also called industrial sector, third one service sector or tertiary sector. All these 3 sectors of economy are discussed. Next, gross domestic product, share of different sectors in gross domestic product, employment in different sectors. It means in these 3 sectors how the employment is in, you can understand. Organized sector and unorganized sector, how to create more and better conditions of employment. Finally discussed in this chapter. And the 4th chapter, that is climate of India. In this chapter, the first topic, climate and weather, the differences, what is climate and what is weather, all are explained. And next, climographs of few places in India are given. Factors influencing climate and weather. You know the factors, those factors are latitude or distance from the equator, land-water relationship, relief, upper atmospheric circulation, and seasons in India. Generally you say 3 seasons in India, but actually we say four seasons. The first one winter, second one summer. The third season generally we call it as rainy season. Actually it is divided into two. The first one is southwest monsoon season, and next one is northeast monsoon season. It is also called as retreating monsoon season. So seasons in India are explained. Traditional Indian seasons are given here. Next, very important, the burning topic in the world, that is global warming. Next, AGW, it means full form anthropogenic global warming. Finally, impact of climate change on India are discussed. Fifth chapter, Indian rivers and water resources. In this chapter, river system in India. You know, there are two types of river systems in India. The first one is Himalayan river system. The second one is the peninsular river system. And next one, you know the topic, that is water cycle. Water use in the Tungabhadra river basin is also discussed. Rational and equitable use of water, taking Hiware Bazar in Maharashtra as an example, it is discussed. Finally, very important one, everyone should get an idea, that is water as common pool resource. Chapter 6, the people. In this chapter, the first one is census in India. Next, age structure. It is divided into three. First one, on the basis of that structure, first one is children below 15 years are called children. Second one, working age 15 to 59 years. Third one, aged above 59 years. So this is the age structure. Next, sex ratio. And Indian population from 1901 to 2011, you can see in this graph. Fertility rate in India is also shown, and population density in India. Next, chapter 7, people and settlement. In this chapter, first, how did settlements begin? Next, why do settlements change? What kind of places attracted settlements? And in this you can find Indian settlements in hierarchy. Finally, urbanization, rapid growth of towns and cities, it is called urbanization. So that urbanization has some advantages and also it brought so many problems also. All are discussed here. Chapter 8, people and migration. Migrations in India. Rural urban migration and expansion of urban population in India is shown in this graph, and also seasonal and temporary migrations, international migrations, and next one, the final one, very important one, what happens when people migrate. Chapter 9, Rampur, a village economy. In this chapter, organization of production. We know 4 comes under this. One is land. In this topic, land distribution in Rampur is shown. Next, labor, very important. Third one, capital. You know, capital is divided into two. One is fixed capital or physical capital. Second one is working capital. So 2 types of capitals are there. Very important for production. And final one, knowledge and enterprises. At the end of the chapter, non-farm activities in Rampur are given. Chapter 10, globalization. In the beginning of this chapter, multinational companies, MNCs, and globalization is discussed, and factors that have enabled globalization. You know, the factors are technology mainly. Next one, liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy in India. And some international organizations also given in this chapter: World Trade Organization, World Bank, International Monetary Fund. Next, finally, very importantly, that is the impact of globalization in India. It is discussed. And the 11th chapter, food security. In the beginning of this chapter, you can find that Bengal famine from 1943 to 1945. The effects of that famine are given. Next, increasing food grain production. And next, availability of food grains, access to food. Very important, you know that PDS system means public distribution system. Nutritional status, all are given in this chapter. And the final one, last one, but not the least one, that is sustainable development, 12th chapter. In the beginning of this chapter, some graphs are given, distribution of households in India based on annual income. Next one, total wealth held by billionaires. And next, increase in the number of billionaires. And next, discuss a very important topic, environment and development. People's right over the environment. Very inspirational movement that is discussed, that is Chipko Andolan. And finally, towards sustainable development with equity is discussed. And very, very important one, the best one to follow in every place, that is an alternative public distribution system is explained. So, my dear students, in paper 1, all these 12 chapters are included. The topics in these chapters not only useful for exams and very useful and helpful to you in all day-to-day situations. So I suggest you to go through these topics in those chapters to get the best. If you go through continuously, then you can understand what are given in the textbook. Whenever you get an idea, very easy to read and very easy to write, and finally very, very easy to get good marks. So finally I say all the best, my dear students.